you're struggling to feel productive and getting your list done on a consistent basis, it's going to be overwhelming. Trust me, I get it. I run 6 companies right now, 120 employees, and tens of millions of dollars, and the list just never goes away. Here's 12 hacks that I've implemented into my life and helped others implement theirs to get them more productive that don't cost a single dollar. The first one might seem pretty obvious to some, but to me, I am amazed how many people don't do this, is just using a digital calendar. Get away from like your desk calendar, get away from the handwritten calendar, like get away from those things. Like those things are just not going to help you, because the minute you turn the page, all those notes go away. And like, I'll look at it. No, you won't. That's why you're overwhelmed. That's why you're behind. That's why shit never gets done. So using a digital calendar that can sync between your phone, your computer, your iPad, whatever you're using a calendar at all doesn't cost anything and will start to help you organize your activities. Which brings me to number 2, time blocking specific activities. And not just time blocking, it's understanding how to condense like activities together. When you try to change between activities, like you go from like doing this with the kids, doing this for the business, doing this for yourself. Like when you hop between activities that are different and require different thought processes, it is very difficult to pivot and it's incredibly draining. So when you can use time blocks, physical blocks on your calendar that are on some reoccurring cadence, it helps you get into a mental mode. Let's say it's like very administratively heavy. Like do that. It's sales heavy. It's family. It's fitness. Whatever it is, build like-minded activities together. Because when you can do that, you end up getting into a flow. You end up getting into a groove, and you end up getting more done as opposed to hopping around between different activities. Number 3. This one is energy management, not just time management, but energy management. For me and the people that I know that run multiple businesses, or they have a busy family life and a busy work life, switching between hats too many times in a day. And what I mean by hats is like roles, like husband, father, leader, sales, finance, fitness, like all these things. When you're hopping between hats and roles in your life, like for me specifically, I'm running multiple companies. When I switch between companies too many times in a day, I lose the ability to be productive. And like just simply building weekly routines and kind of time blocks and using the calendar, but to make sure that in a specific day, that not just are you time blocking like-minded activities, you're not hopping between too many hats in a day, because that creates a lot of inconsistencies and it destroys your productivity. It doesn't cost any money. It just takes intentionality around planning ahead and executing the game plan that you come up with. Number 4, like Andy Frisella calls it the power list. I just say it a daily task list. Building 4 to 5 things, I see this all the time. Like people like, this is just a book. This isn't a notebook, but it's just like they build a full page of to-do lists, right? I don't do that, so I can't show it to you. But like they build this just like never-ending list of to-do items. And there's no priority. There's no timeline. There's no due dates. It's just like this long list. You're like, I don't even know where to start. And you always skip the thing you don't want to do that you really need to do. And you go to the easy thing that's not even important at all. But building a daily task list, which is like, these are the 4 to 5 things I have to get done today to make progress, and then actually completing them. And so when you have this just long to-do list that's just never ending, no priority, no deadlines, no nothing, it never gets done. When you can break out your to-do list into specific days, again, you can use a notebook for this. I use a program called Asana for this, ASANA. There is a small cost to using that program, but you can literally just use a notebook, or you can literally just take a piece of paper, which I guess kind of costs money. Write it on a whiteboard. I don't care. Put it somewhere. Write it down. Building the list will help you become more productive and generally does not really cost any money. Number 5, and this is something that pisses a lot of people off inside my ecosystem. My phone has been on Do Not Disturb for 4 years. I'm not joking. My phone does not come off Do Not Disturb. Just because you have my phone number does not mean that you are entitled to distract me from what I'm doing, nor do you deserve an immediate response. I am a busy person. I am in the middle of things. I'm shooting YouTube videos right now. My phone, I bet I'm missing calls and text messages and emails all over. I have a ton of notifications. I'm sure of it. My phone has been on Do Not Disturb for literally 4 years. And it was one of the biggest, most impactful changes to my productivity. And it costs nothing. But my team needs me. The salesperson needs me. The client needs me. No, I don't need you right now. Call them back in an hour. Like the reality is, like whatever you're doing right now is not going to last 3 days. Okay, you're going to be busy for like 30 to 45 minutes, then you can call somebody back. So putting your phone on Do Not Disturb immediately increases productivity and what you're working on. Number 6, remove social media from your phone. And if you don't believe me on that, I challenge you to go to your screen time on your phone and look at how many hours per day you average on social media apps. Some of you will likely be embarrassed and disgusted with how many hours you spend on that. But for me, social media is a business tool. So if you're a business owner, like you might, well, you don't need to engage from your phone. Like I use my computer for everything I need to do on social media during business hours. And when I'm not at business, I actually haven't been on Instagram in like a year. My team just distributes for me and I post, but like I bet there's 150 DMs and people are like, Mike doesn't even respond to me anymore. I love you. I'm sorry. It is a distraction and it destroyed my productivity. So like deleting social media from my phone and kind of eliminating consumption of social media from my life had made a massive increase in my productivity. You know, I kind of joke about it. It's like, don't get high on your own supply. Like I deliver a lot of content. Consuming a lot of content is very disruptive for me. So I eliminated social media from my phone. And when I need to do something, I do it from my computer. Is it as efficient? No. It's annoying. Cool. It's annoying that you're not getting shit done and you're overwhelmed all the time. So how about you just focus on that? Getting up earlier. So I just work more hours in a day at Life. People say, well, how do you get so much done? Like I work at Life. People say, how much do you work? I work at Life 18 hours a day. Like, and life it's all the roles, family, business, it changes. It starts here, morning routines. Like it's getting up earlier will immediately make you more productive because you just have more hours in the day to get things done. To do that, you might need to eliminate some things. I did a video recently on things you need to quit doing to succeed. Maybe you need to quit that nightcap you're having, or maybe you need to quit the drugs or the porn or the video game, whatever. Maybe you need to do and remove things from certain parts of your life so that you can get up earlier. But getting up earlier will immediately create more time and productivity because you have more brain power in the morning. And you're like, I'm not a morning person. No, you're just not preparing yourself to be a morning person. Like everybody at some point can get up and be productive and take action. So number 8 is going to bed earlier. The biggest trick to getting up earlier is going to bed earlier. But going to bed earlier allows you to get more restful sleep. When you stay up till 11, 12, 1 a.m., you end up depleting your personal resources and it causes you to be very, very like behind and sluggish in the morning. So like going to bed earlier helps you get up earlier and you'll be more productive in the morning because there's less distractions and you are actually more fueled. Because like decision fatigue and discipline fatigue is a real thing. Like I don't say I've done research on this, but I've studied it to an extent. Like decision fatigue and discipline fatigue is like your body has so many good decisions it can make in a day. There's only so much creativity it has. And like when you hit that 5 o'clock wall where you're just like brain fog, you can't even think straight, you don't even know where you are, you're not gonna be productive at that point. But in the morning, you still have a lot of reserves in those buckets. And so going to bed earlier and getting up earlier are two things that can help you be more productive and doesn't cost anything. I'm a big fan of two things. So the next two things is a morning routine and an evening routine. You know, when I was growing up playing sports, one of the best pieces of advice I got is warm up the same every game so that you go into that performance feeling similar, right? Whether it's football or baseball or business or whatever, when you warm up the same, you perform the same. And what I mean by that is like, if you warm up differently every time, you go into the experience of the accomplishment, the thing, the challenge, the competition was the word I'm looking for. When you go into the competition, you feel different every time. So your body reacts differently. I'm a huge fan of morning and evening routines because when you follow a routine, your body falls into the habit. Like if you have a consistent nighttime routine, you will start falling asleep easier. If you got your phone in bed like this and you're doing that for the 2 hours before you actually go to sleep, it's not going to work. But if you have an evening routine where you can eliminate certain things and get your body used to following this routine towards sleep, it's just as powerful as having a morning routine that gets you into energy. So I'm a big fan of those two things. Number 11 for me, limiting or eliminating alcohol. I have a Whoop, and if you have a Whoop, cool. But when you track sleep, I challenge you to look at the data from like nights you have a drink or two and nights you don't drink. Alcohol destroys sleep. It destroys a lot of things, obviously, but sleep specifically related to being productive at no cost. So eliminating alcohol actually makes you more productive and makes you more money, or it causes you to spend less. So not only you can, use the savings from the alcohol to buy the paper I was talking about earlier. You'll still make more money. That's an offset right there, ROI. But to knock out the alcohol, take that money, go buy a notebook, and start making your task list. But I'll tell you, like limiting and eliminating alcohol for me was a huge improvement in how I perform on a daily basis. Like I wasn't underperforming the expectations of others. This is very key. You might be able to have a couple drinks and still perform better than people around you need from you, but you will wildly underperform your potential and your productivity. So eliminate alcohol, take the savings, buy a notebook. Number 12, being present where your feet are. If you've ever been in a meeting and you're like listening to one person, checking your phone, like when you're distracted and you're not where your feet are, it is very difficult to be efficient in what you're doing. So if you want to increase productivity, simply eliminate distractions of daydreaming or projecting on future problems or trying to solve something that's not where you are. Like if you're worried about the client call this afternoon and you're trying to do a one-on-one with one of your leaders, just reschedule a one-on-one. Because if you're in the future, if you're anxious about what's coming, you can't be present where you are and you're just not as effective or productive in that moment. I think this happens the most. Like for me and a lot of people I've been in business with, they're like at home thinking about work, at work thinking about home. And like that makes you unproductive everywhere. So if you can really figure that out, if you can get organized around, I need to be at work and be present here, and I need to be at home and be present here. If you do that, you'll feel like you're serving everybody appropriately. If you're always where you're not supposed to be, you'll always be underserving the people and just lack productivity in those moments. So those are 12 hacks to be 99.9% more productive that cost nothing. And if you don't drink, I apologize. You have to go buy some paper. I get it. I'm sorry. Go to the dollar store. You can get $2. I'll send it to you. Okay. I'll send you $2. Shoot me a message. I'll send you $2.